Dela writes, my MVVs, welcome. Report has it that Dr. Sapphire couldn't hold back her tears as the Great Lion signed the deal that crowned the jewel head of China Overseas Energy and Raw Mineral Development Company. Okay, they said that was what happened in Inagba Beach. Our people say when a ship becomes great, we remember the one who nurtured it when it was still weak. That was exactly what played out that afternoon at Inagbe Grand Resort in Lagos when the Great Lion, himself rose from his seat in the middle of a grand business private conference and signed what would become one of the most historic partnership deals between the Yoruba monarchy and an Asian industrial conglomerate. Okay, China Overseas Energy and Raw Mineral Development Company. The deal isn't just about business. It was about trust, legacy, and restoration for those who knew the story behind it. It is an emotional reunion between love, destiny, and purpose. And no one in that hall could hold back their emotion, not even Dr. Sapphire, the quiet but fiercely intelligent woman who had stood by the Great Lion through many of his most difficult decisions. As the Great Lion bent over the contract and pressed his royal seal upon the last page, Dr. Sapphire's eye was filled with tears. They weren't tears of jealousy nor of weakness. They were tears of pride, tears for the jewel, tears for the woman who had been publicly humiliated, silently mocked, yet and risen from the dust of rejection into a seat of global influence. The jewel, that same jewel that we know about. The Great Lion signed all of these documents to make her, the head of this organization. Now, can we go ahead and talk a little about China, Oversea Energy and Raw Materials Development, company, okay? This company is partly owned by the Great Lion, and the Great Lion owns almost 60% shares in that company. And this company happens to be one of the biggest multinational corporations in Asia, with headquarters in Beijing and offices spread across over 38 countries, including Australia, the United Arab Emirates, and Nigeria. The company is known for its massive investment in oil exploration. We talked about this oil thing that time, right? Lithium extraction, renewable energy, and mineral resource development. Their portfolio includes billion-dollar projects across Africa, from copper mining in Zambia to oil field partnership in Angola and rare earth mineral development in Congo. But for the first time in history, the corporation had agreed to make Nigeria, particularly the Yoruba Kingdom of Ife, a major hub for its West African expansion. And that was how the Great Lion came in. Now, when the Great Lion came in, he had something in mind that nobody knew. He had the jewel in mind. Now, to tell you, one thing about me, why I call myself the Queen of Update is because I do not just talk. I talk with details, okay? I don't just give flat this thing. I don't want to put in the hard work. I just give you. The Great Lion has a lot of companies. A lot. He is a serial entrepreneur. That man is great. He's the owner of Inagbe Grand Resort Leisure, a resort on Inagbe Island, Lagos. Okay, he's the owner of Ojajamo. He's the owner of Equity Group. He's the owner of Together Technologies Limited. He's the owner of Grand Imperial Group. He's the owner of Imperial Home Mortgage Bank Limited. He's the owner of Tingo Cola, Inagbe Cocoa World Factory. Right now, he has entered this China Overseas Energy Development again. He owns more than enough. If you want to count it, the money, sometimes I keep wondering, why did the Great Lion not study business administration? Is it business administration he studied? I don't know. But I know that he has expanded his educational boundaries, wealth of knowledge and all of that. He's got a great wealth of knowledge. He is a great, in fact, and most of these businesses he's attracting to the West is so that he can create job opportunity for the young people. His number one concern is the fact that the reason why there's so much restiveness in Nigeria is because young people are not given the opportunity to work and fend for themselves. As a human being, you must chop food, you must survive. And so, if there's no way for them to, get this for themselves, they want to do bad things. But so, this is not what we are talking about. We are talking about what he has done for the jewel. Now, at the center of this monumental move stood one woman, now crowned as the Executive Director for African Operations and Global Ambassador for Sustainable Energy and Raw Mineral Innovation. So when we heard a few years ago that the jewel had gone to go and read international relations in Elizad University, a lot of people didn't know that, this was in line with their own thoughts and everything that they are doing. Now, one thing you must, say about the Great Lion is the fact that the Great Lion does not believe in making you go and, as in giving you fish. He believes in giving you the portfolio to be able to go and catch your fish by yourself. When the company's representative, a delegation of 14 executives led by their chairman, Mr. Zoe Longwi, landed in Lagos that morning, they were received at the airport by, senior palace officials, representative of the Federal Ministry of Energy, and top Yoruba traditional chief. It was clear that this wasn't just a company signing a deal. It was a global power aligning itself with Yoruba royalty. Inside the resort, everything was laid out with the elegance of royalty and the discipline of, corporate diplomacy. The Great Lion sat beside the jewel. But the reason why this whole thing was so private happens to be that, this thing with their tradition. It's after 29 that they can do this kind of a thing, make it public, right? So the Great Lion sat beside the jewel, who looked radiant in a perfectly tailored white silk gown with gold embroidery that carried the insignia of the House of Oduduwa. Her calm smile marks years of pain, lessons and prayers. Beside her sat her, Dr. Sapphire. Dr. Sapphire happens to be her favorite in that palace. You see, Dr. Sapphire, you see Adetutu, okay? Sapphire was silent, grateful, and proud, okay? And, they were just all there. Dr. Sapphire, observed the moment with the maturity of a woman who understood destiny or understands destiny. She had been one of the strongest voices advising the Great Lion to rebuild the bond with the jewel, not just for emotional reasons, but because, as she told him, the jewel star is tied to your reign. Her grace is your covering. Okay? As the signing commenced, Mr. Zoe stood up and announced that after months of evaluation, their board had unanimously decided to appoint the jewel as head of the African division of their global operations, a position that would oversee a projected in fact, I don't even want to say the amount of money, because you people say the laram, you can call money, so I don't want to say. But they said the jewel was calm, as everybody was clapping. Dr. Sapphire was clapping. The Great Lion was just smiling slightly here and there, and the jewel was just so crying. When grace meets destiny, restoration becomes inevitable. Today, we are not only, partnering for development. We are rewriting history. The world will see that the jewel of Ife carries not just beauty, but brilliance, strength, and divine favor. That was when they gave the microphone to Dr. Sapphire to speak. Hey! Dr. Sapphire spoke and everybody was shocked. She said, when grace meets destiny, restoration becomes inevitable. Today, we are not only partnering for development, we are rewriting history. The world will see that the jewel of Ife carries not just beauty, but brilliance, strength, and divine favor. And that is what they are about to see. Oma, it's not a small thing. No. Come and see celebration. Everyone was celebrating. Dr. Sapphire, turned her face, away because it was tears of joy for Dr. Sapphire because, the jewel has gone through so much. This is what is going on. I'm going to bring you more update. Do not forget that these are all alleged rumors, unverified information making the rounds on social media and shouldn't be seen as fact.